Welcome, David Perez.
I have two goals first and foremost before I start. One is to avoid being extremely timorous, and two, to share a snapshot of my journey. My journey has been a little sweet and a little sour. However, my family has been my anchor throughout the journey. To realize a dream and make a difference has been my drive and motivation. I was born in Queens, New York, and raised in the beautiful tropical island of Puerto Rico until the age of 17. My mother was a secretary, my father was a police officer. My childhood memories are a bit bleak, nebulous, but I could sum it up in 3 words: unfocused, rambunctious, and feisty. This was certainly reflected in my grades, I could assure you. March 15, 1983 marked the beginning of a significant change in my life. My father was assassinated by a gunman, and I was only 11 years old. From then on, I knew I was the man of the house. So at least that's what my father's friends told me. What does that mean to an 11-year-old kid? I didn't know what it meant at the time, but I knew I was supposed to do something. It was much later when that became clear to me. I began to follow my father's footsteps, and in a way tried to accomplish his unattainable dreams. My mother always reinforced this by always reminding me what my father stood for. I inherited many traits from my father. Some were good, some not so much. I was a hothead, but I had his drive, passion, and ambition. I joined the Navy, already married, at the tender age of 17. During my first 5 years in the Navy, I stumbled in more ways than one. Fights, demotion, divorce. But again, my mother kept reminding me what my dad would have done and what he would have expected of me. In 1994, I began to realize that I had to make some changes in my life. I proceeded to leave the Navy in pursuit of a college education, with aspirations of someday returning as a naval officer. However, while on terminal leave in Puerto Rico, I encountered a bit of a setback. I was gunned down by a gang and received 6 gunshot wounds to the right side of my body. This has got to be a sign. A second chance. 2 years later, now separated from my second wife, I rejoined the Navy as an enlisted Arabic linguist. I graduated from the Defense Language Institute in 1998 and completed my bachelor's degree a year later. Now stationed in Rota, Spain, I began to deploy to many places in Europe, Africa, Latin America, and the Middle East. And I started my master's in human relations. In 2000, the highlight, I met the woman of my dreams, my wife Christine. 2 years later, while making wedding preparations, I received a phone call from my commanding officer informing me that I was picked up, selected for Boston Candidate School.
Cool.
A dream come true. A year later, I was flying reconnaissance mission during Operation Iraqi Freedom, ran the operations department at Naval Information Operation Bahrain, and after that, we moved to Augusta, Georgia, where I was running the submarine operations and started a master's in National Security Strategy Middle East. 2 years later, I returned to Monterey to complete my third master's and last. And I am having the time of my life. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, my life has had many ups and downs. But it has been my family that has kept me grounded throughout the entire journey. And a sense of responsibility to my father, who left us so early without fulfilling his dreams. Madam Toastmaster, I was given a second chance, and I'm not wasting any minute of it.